Oh, hi everyone. For those just tuning in, we're now looking at applying the quadratic formula when we get irrational solutions. So irrational solutions means we're not going to get clean fraction answers. We're going to get answers that are long decimal places that continue on for a long time. And this one wants us to provide only one decimal place to the nearest tenth. So that's going to be pretty easy for rounding purposes. Let's take a look at how we manage these situations. So here I have 3x squared minus x minus 26 is equal to 2x squared. Well, that's annoying. I like it when these things are equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is get out a pen and subtract 2x squared from both sides. And once I've done that, now the thing is equal to 0 on one side. If I have 3x squared and I take away 2x squared, I'm going to be left with one of them. X squared minus x minus 26 is equal to 0. I have to have a quadratic equal to 0 if I'm going to use the quadratic formula. If it's equal to something non-zero, fix it. Make it equal to 0 before you apply the quadratic formula. Now, I'm going to make this big. Going to get my numbers here. A is equal to 1, B is equal to negative 1, and C is equal to negative 26. We could do a quick visualization of this. It has a y-intercept of minus 26. It's opening upwards, and it's going down as it crosses the y-axis. So it's going to look something like this. I predict a very wide gap between the roots here, relatively wide. That would be my visualization. So let's go ahead and find out what those x values are. They're going to be ugly. So let's go. We know that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And then we substitute carefully. So negative b will be negative negative 1. And I'm just going to skip a step and write 1 there. Because negative negative 1 is 1. Plus or minus the square root of 1 squared. Negative 1 squared is just 1. Minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 26. Okay? All over 2a. So it's all over 2. Multiply by 1. I'm not going to write those multiply by 1s because it doesn't change anything. So x is equal to 1 plus or minus negative 4 times negative 26 happens to be 104. Positive 104. Not checking on a calculator, don't need to. It's true. And then I'm going to add 1 to it because it's going to be 1 plus 104. So this is the square root of 105 divided by 2. Now, square root of 105, my goodness, that's like 5 times 21. That doesn't factor at all. So we're just going to find out what it is. So 105, but I take the square root of it. 10.24. Let's do 10.25. So we'll round to 2 decimal places. So this is x equals 1 plus or minus 10.25 over 2. All right. Now this will give us two possibilities. One is plus, one is minus. So 1 plus 10.25 is 11.25 over 2. And 1 minus 10.25 is negative 9.25 over 2. Okay? Let's evaluate both of those in the calculator. Whoop. So 11.25 divided by 2 equals, one possibility is 5.6. We were asked for one decimal place, so let's give 5.6. 5.6, and then put a comma to give your second answer. My second answer is over here, negative 9.25. Clear? 9.25, but it's negative. Divided by 2 equals negative 4.6. And that matches my prediction. I predicted a pretty wide gap between the roots, and I have a gap that's about the size of 10 between the roots. So that's pretty big. Negative 4.6. Let's see if it likes it. Hooray! That's how you apply the quadratic formula Find the zeros of these things. Done. Any questions? Send me an email or ask me in class.